Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a Dino Charge review for you today. This is the Dino Charge Megazord. Obviously, I've taken it out of the packaging already, but I just wanted to show off the box before we get into the toy itself. Right here is where the charger was stored. It only comes with the one charger. It's kind of a clear charger for number 1, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here's a picture of the 3 Zords when you deconstruct the Megazord into the 3 dinosaurs. Cool picture of the Megazord on the side. Just kind of shows you some of the toys you can get with the chargers. Then we have a cool picture of the Megazord here on the back. And again, the 3 dinosaurs. And then it shows how it can combine with some of the other things. And it shows the other chargers you can get. So overall, pretty cool box. But we'll go ahead and move on to the toy now. This is exactly how the Megazord comes out of the box. All the pieces are detached. So I just kind of wanted to show you quick how you assemble it. But first, this is the charger that it comes with. It's exactly the same. See if I can get it to focus here. Maybe? There we go. It's the same as the one that comes with the Morpher, except that the plastic is clear. But it's number 1. It's got the 4 modes you can change through. It doesn't make any additional sounds. I don't know if the QR code is the same. I honestly didn't check that. It probably is. On the back, it says Tyrannosaurus Rex. So really the only difference is that the plastic is clear instead of gray, but everything else is the same. So I'm not going to bother showing you in the Morpher the sounds that it makes because it is the same. So the first part we get here is what is the top of the Stegosaurus. This cannot open. In the Japanese version, this did open to make a shield mode, but in the American version, it's just the sword. But it does look very cool. This is the backpack for the Megazord, which will eventually become the T-Rex's tail. This is kind of the tail and back section of the Triceratops. And then these are the 2 legs of the T-Rex, which you do have to connect. There are 2 plugs right here and 2 holes right there. You want to make sure that this has kind of a little circle there, and that's going to go on this little peg right there. So you want to make sure that's facing in when you connect these. And you just go ahead and snap it in, and then you line up that little nub joint there. There we go. Once you get it in, it's nice and stable. So you go ahead and connect this one the same way. There we go. Got that connected. That's all secure. So then once you have it, it's nice and stable. This part, the sword just fits right in the hand. Just like that. And then this piece comes over here and just snaps on there. And then you turn them around. And the bottom 2 plugs, we'll plug these 2 right here. We'll plug on there. So there you go. You have the fully assembled Dino Charge Megazord. And I think he looks great. I really like what they did with him. I'm glad he's pink and not purple, as he should be. So overall, very nice Megazord here. Articulation-wise, you really kind of just have the arms as normal go. These pieces, while they can disconnect right here, that's how you attach other Zords, which will be coming out later. The only articulation is right here, but you can take these off. And these are Zord builder ports right here. He also has Zord builder parts here on the foot. So you can mix and match anything else that's Zord builder compatible. There we go. He also has a Zord builder port up here. So you could go ahead and pop something on there if you like. So overall, I think it's pretty well done. There's no electronics or anything. In the Japanese version, this black thing was a button that did lights and sounds. But obviously, we don't have electronics in ours. We have them for years. So, no big deal. Now I'll go ahead and I'll deconstruct them down into the 3 dinosaurs. So to start, just pop off the arms right there where I showed you earlier, and just kind of put them off to the side for now. And I'll start with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You're just going to straighten these out. This piece up here can get pushed in, but I'll show you more about that in a minute. The helmet does pop right off, and then the head folds down. Come around to the back, pop off the yellow piece. You're going to swivel up, or actually first you have to turn this 90 degrees forward so that the T-Rex head is facing forward. Then you're going to fold up these gray hands, which will be the hands of the T-Rex. Then you're going to come around to the back here. And you can unhook this down here like I showed you earlier, and swing the T-Rex feet out of the way. Then you kind of move this up. And the head, the helmet I should say, is going to fit right in here. So you kind of just have to get this lined up and make sure that this closes around it without like snapping it, or just make sure it lines up. But the head will nestle right in there. There we go. And then these pieces right here will snap together. Then you can see how there's kind of a rectangle cut out here. That's for this arm piece. So you just rotate that up. And then this arm piece will just sit right in there. So there you go. Then you take the tail piece like this, fold it in half, and it will snap together. Then you come around to under here. I'm sorry, like this. You can see how there's kind of a track, and the track is under here. And you just slide that right in. And then I believe, yes, that will go like that. So there you go. Now you have him in T-Rex mode. Again, I think he looks great. I kind of wish the arm connectors were black, but it's not a big deal. If you open his mouth, you can open it and close it, and it'll stay open. If you put the charger in his mouth, and then you close it, it'll make these like little yellow spikes or fronds or whatever you want to call them. You can push it back down, open it up, and then when you push it down, it'll make them pop out. So that's cool. Kind of has a little feature like that. And they'll stay up even if you take the charger out until you push them down again. So there you go. There is the T-Rex Dino Charge Zord. And I'll move on to Stegosaurus. Okay, so obviously the arms are easier to transform. Just go ahead, pop the sword out of the hand down here. You're going to flip the legs down on both sides. Very simple. Close his mouth. Take the sword and fold that in. Now you just want to make sure there is a release down here. You want to make sure that's all the way to the left. And then you go ahead, pop that on top, and there you go. You have the blue Stegosaurus Zord. Now how the charger works is if you open his mouth again, and that's why I said you have to make sure this release is all the way to the left. If you put a charger in, it doesn't matter which one, and push it all the way in, it will make this part flip up. And then to get the charger out, you take this lever and push it all the way forward, and then you can just pull it out. Close the mouth again, fold this back down. So that's kind of his little feature. You just put the charger in and it makes the sword blade pop out. But I think he looks pretty good. I like the red eyes. See if I can focus in on that. I think that's some really nice detailing there, and his little snout is painted silver. So very cool. So now we'll move on to Triceratops. Triceratops is even easier to transform. Close the mouth. Flip the legs out. Do the same on both sides. And there you go. You can actually push the tail back in. Now this piece can come off if you want. And I think you can even switch it with the Stegosaurus. So that's kind of cool. But for this, the Triceratops, there's not really a reason to take it off. For the Stegosaurus, it becomes a sword. For her, you know, just kind of leave it on. How the charger works: open the mouth, make sure that's all the way to the left, pop the charger in, and you can see, whoops, his leg gave out. It makes the this come out. So if I do it again, push the lever to get the battery out, put the charger in, and that just pops out. But overall, I think this Zord's pretty cool. Really happy she's pink and not purple. I think the purple would have just been too dark. But yeah, otherwise she looks great. So I think these Zords are pretty great. I think they did a pretty good job with the Dino Charge Megazord. It's got a couple extra Zord Builder ports, which are fun because you can get into some connectivity. I'm going to show you real quick how to change it back, just in case you're wondering how to get it back into the Megazord mode. It's actually really quite simple, and I'm going to go kind of fast because you've already kind of seen the steps to go backwards. So pop the tail out, bring this part down, fold these legs back until they click. Split apart and the head will fall out. Put the hands down, turn around, flip the head, attach the helmet, and that's pretty much it for the T-Rex. Something I did want to also show, well, I'll start with the Stegosaurus. Pop the sword off, fold the hands up, and I do like that when you fold the hands up, that yellow line becomes like one solid line there. Now in the Japanese version, what they would do is put the charger in, and then you would actually connect it with the charger in. There is a hole here, so you could connect it with the charger in if you want, and it will connect. But in the Japanese version, there were readers in here, and it could tell which battery you were putting in, and it played different sounds accordingly. There isn't any reader or any sounds in the American version, so there's not really a need to do that. You certainly can if you want, but you don't need to. You could just attach it with the battery or without. I just wanted to show that it is possible that you can do that, because the whole, like, it is hollow inside his arm, so you can attach it with the batteries if you like. Now, if you didn't go to the trouble of poking this out when it was still attached, you can just flick it right there, and the blade will come out. So just go ahead, pop that in. Triceratops, flip that around. Flip that around, open the mouth, attach it right there, open that, flip around, attach, and boom, you're back to your Dino Charge Megazord. Now, as I said, he does have a ton of Zord Builder connector ports. Man, that's a mouthful. Can't get that out. There you go. So he's got two down here, he's got one up here. Just for fun, here is the bike that I did a review of the other day. As I said, you could take this whole arm off, and this has a connector down here, but I think to do that you have to come around and flip this around 180 degrees, like that, and then you can kind of there we go. You could connect the bike as an arm. Doesn't really look that great, but the directions show you can do that. So you can take him off, put this back, connect that back on. You could pop the bike apart and kind of sit that up here. Is that connected? There we go. So, I'll scan up. So you could kind of sit him up there. I don't know. I mean, it's Zord Builder, so you really can just go crazy and have fun with it. wherever you can think of things to connect. You could connect that down there for some reason. So, I mean, you know, the Zord Builder is fun. You can connect stuff all around and do crazy things with it. So I just wanted to show that it did have that functionality. So I have to say I really like what Bandai of America did with the Dino Charge Megazord. Again, this line really is impressing me. My really only complaint is I would have liked to have gotten all 3 chargers, one for each Zord. Not really sure why we only got the red. It's cool that it's a clear version because the Morpher came with a regular red version, but I still would have liked to have seen a blue and pink charger. Or at least give us the blue one with the sword and the pink one as the second one with the Morpher. They gave us black with the Morpher and green with the sword, and then the Parasaurolophus and Velociraptor Zords also came with black and green. So I do have those 2 Zords, and I'll be reviewing them soon, but it's like now I have 2 reds, 2 greens, and 2 blacks instead of all 5. So not really sure why that choice was made. Would have appreciated that they mixed it up so that, like I said, maybe put blue with the sword, have pink be the second one with the Morpher, or just give us all 3 with this. But I'm sure we'll have to buy them separately later. But so far, I'm really liking this. I really like the Megazord. I think it's a nice alternative to the Japanese version. Yes, it doesn't have the lights and sounds, but it's also much cheaper, a little bit smaller. It's a nicer size to just play with and mess around. I'm not going to do a straight comparison with the Japanese version, but I did a review of Kyoryujin about a year ago. I'll have the link for it in the description, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out in the description below. But I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Please tell me what you think about the Dino Charge Megazord. Please like and share this video. Please make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Like I said, in the description there'll be a link to my Kyoryujin review, but there'll also be links to my Facebook and Twitter if you want to check that out as well. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Dino Charge Megazord from Power Rangers Dino Charge, and thanks for watching.